go. We are live. Okay. We are now live on the air. So what we're going to do this evening, or now, if it happens to be morning for all of you, is that we're going to have a very short class in the Caitanya Caritamrta, and then we have a holy festival. And the holy festival will probably be just on my Facebook page, not on Zoom, because I have to go outside, play the guitar for the holy festival, and speak a few words about holy. So that's going to be starting in about a half an hour from now. So we're going to go real quickly and read just a little bit, just to cover our Caitanya Caritamrta class, and then we're going to do holy after that, not on Zoom, but on my Facebook page. So we'll chant the Nishingadev prayers real quickly right now, without the guitar, and then we'll start the Caitanya Caritamrta reading. And as I said, it'll only be about 25 minutes of reading. So, Namaste Narasimhaya Paladnala Dhoyone Hiranyakashi Purvakshaka Shilatam Kana Kolaye Itona Singha Paratona Singho Yato Yamitatona Singha Bahir Singho, Hridaye Singho, Singhamadim, Sharanam Prapajoy, Tavakara Kamala, Parena Kama Bhuta Singham, Dalita, Hiranyakashipu, Tanu Bringahom, Kesavatrita, Nadahari Rupa, Jaya Dagadisha Atehi Jaya Dagadisha Hotehi Jaya Jagadisha Hotehi Jaya Nasringadev Jaya Nasringadev Jaya Nasringadev Jaya Nasringadev Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramahansa Paravidikacharya, Sateta Satashi, Shimad, His Divine Grace Abhaya Chaitanya, Bhaktivedanta Goswami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, ISKCON Founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Kajai Namacharya Shri Thakur Kajai Pran Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Kajai Shri Shri Radhakrishna Gopikapana Sayam Kunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Kajai Vrindavanam Kajai Maturadam Kajai Jagadasami Kajai Yamunamai Kajai Srimati Lasudeva Gajai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Gajai, Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Go. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Gajai, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prastaya Budale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharni Nivishesha Shunyavadi. Paschatya Deja Tarni, so Omagana, Timidanda Shah Galanjana Shlakaya Chakshudam Riditam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual masters, Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada, so kindly opened my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge while I was blinded in the darkness of ignorance. So as I mentioned before, this is going to be a very, very short reading from the Caitanya Caritamrta, because we had, on the half hour, we have holy to do, and that will probably just be broadcast on my Facebook page, which is bkgoswami Das, is the Facebook page if you're interested in seeing that. So I'm going to be playing the guitar, speaking a few minutes about holy, etc. And that's going to be outside. So let's start with the Caitanya Caritamrta reading. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhaktavrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhaktavrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Okay, we're reading from text 35 and I think it was text 25 I was reading from. Hold on a second, let me check. I think I got the wrong text here. Let me just check to see. I think it was 25 I was supposed to start from. Let's see. Yes, I was supposed to start from 25, not 35. So, let me go back. Just take 1 second. To get back up there. Okay, there we go. Sorry for the delay. Matagrihe rahayai matara charane tumarage manahibe karos wachanda charane. So these are instructions given to Damodar Pandit to go and take care of Lord Chaitanya's mother, because Damodar Pandit was finding too much fault in Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent him away back to home, back to Navadvip. It is best for you to go to the shelter of my mother's lotus feet, for no one will be able to behave independently in front of you. It's instruction of Damodar Pandit. Majje majje asiva kabu, amara darashane, sigra makari banatahan, karaha gamane. At intervals you may come see me here, and then soon go again there. Matare kahiya mora, Koti namaskare, mora sukha katagagi, sukadiya tanre. Offer my mother millions of my obeisances. Please speak to her about my happiness here, and thus give her happiness. So he's sending someone who criticized him too much away. Nirantara nija kata tamara chunaite, e lagi prabhu more. Bataila ihante. Tell her that I sent you to inform her of my personal activities so that she may share in my happiness. Itakahi mataramane santosha janmaiha arguya katatandre smarana kiraiha. Speaking in this way, satisfy the mind of Mother Sachi. Also remind her of one most confidential incident with this message from me. Bari bari asiyami tumara bhavane nishtana vyanjana sabha kariye bhojane. I come to your home again and again to eat all the sweetmeats and vegetables you offer. Bhojana kariyami tumitada Tata jana bhaya virahita swapna karimana. You know that I come and eat the offerings, but because of external separation, you consider this a dream. Because Mother Sachi was feeling separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she thought she was dreaming that her son had come to her. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, wanted to inform her that actually was not a dream. He actually came there and ate whatever his mother offered him. Such are the dealings of advanced devotees with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated in the Brahma Samhita 5:38. Premanjana churita bhaktivalocanena santak sadaiva radiyeshu vilokyanti yam shaima sundaramachincha guna sarupam govindamadi purasham tamaham bhajami. I worship the primeval Lord Govinda, who is always seen with the devotee whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love. He is seen in his eternal form of Shaima Sundara, situated within the heart of a devotee. Pure devotees realize dealings with the Lord on the transcendental plane, but because the devotees are still in the material world, they think that these are dreams. The Lord, however, talks with the advanced devotee And the advanced devotee also sees him. It is all factual. It is not a dream. So this is actually really important. And you actually see great devotees when they actually interact with the Lord on the spiritual platform. Sometimes they're bringing things back from the spiritual platform back into this mundane world, like a garland. Srinivasacharya would do that, bring back garlands or flowers or different items from the spiritual world or scents from the spiritual world. Emaga Sankrante Tumi Radhana Karila Nana Vyanjana Kshira Pitak Payasa Randila. During the last Maga Sankranti festival, you cook varieties of vegetables, condensed milk, cakes, and sweet rice for me. Lord Caitanya is saying that as a message to his mother. Krishna Bhogalagana Yavi Kaila Dhyana Amara Spurti Haila Gashru Varila Nayana. You offered the food to Lord Krishna, and while you were in meditation, I suddenly appeared, and your eyes were filled with tears. Aste Vyaste Amigiya Sakali Kaila Amikai Deki Tamara Sukha Upajila. I went there in great haste and ate everything. When you saw me eating, you felt great happiness. Shaneke Ashru Mutia Shunya Deki Pata Swapana Deki Lun Yena Nimani Koila Bata. In a moment after you had wiped your tears, you saw that the plate you had offered me was empty. Then you thought, I dreamt as if Nimai were eating everything. Vaya Virahadashaya Punabranti Haila Boganad Laghailun Ejgana Hoila. In the condition of external separation, you were again under illusion, thinking that you would not offer the food to Lord Krishna. Pakapatre tequila sabahana hache badhi punaboga lagaila stana samskara kari. Then you went to see the cooking pots and found that every pot was filled with food. Therefore you again offered the food after cleansing the place for the offering. Emata bara bara kariye bojana damara shuddha preme more Karaya Karashana. Thus, I again and again eat everything you offer me, for I am attracted by your pure love. In other words, these are words to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu's mother, assuring her through the mouth of Damodar Pandit that he is visiting all the time. He is never separated from her. Tumara Jnatayami Achi Nila Chale Nikati Lana Yawama Tumara Prema Bale. Only by your order am I living in Nilachala Jagannath Puri. Nevertheless, you still pull me near you because of your great love for me. And also that indicates that if we have great love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the pure devotee of the Lord, we can always be associated with them on the spiritual platform. It is not an illusion. Emata bara bara kari hasmarana mora nama lanatanra Vandiha Chatana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Damodar Pandit, remind Mother Sachi in this way again and again, and worship her lotus feet in my name. Etakahi Jagannathera Prasada Nahila Pataki Vaishnave Dite Patak Patak Dila. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered that varieties of prasadam offered to Lord Jagannath be brought. The Lord then gave him the prasadam separately packed to offer to various Vaishnavas and his mother. In other words, he gave Damodar Pandit the prasadam to take to Navadvip, Mayapur. Tavi Damodara Chale Nadia Haila Matare Vilia Tanra Chadane Rahila. In this way, Damodar Pandit went to Nadia, Navadvip. After meeting Mother Sachi, he stayed under the care of her lotus feet. Acharyadi Vaishnavere Mahaprasada Dila Prabhurayaiche Agya Panditata Acharila. He delivered all the prasadam to such great Vaishnavas as Advaita Acharya. Thus he stayed there and behaved according to the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Damodara Hage Swatantriya Nahaya Kahara Taravaye Savakare Sankocha Vyavahara. Everyone knew that Damodar Pandit was strict in practical dealings. Therefore, everyone was afraid of him and dared not do anything independent. Prabhu Gane Anodeke Apamaryadha Lakhana Vyakyadana Kari Kare Maryada Stapana. Damodar Pandit would verbally chastise every devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu whom he found deviating even slightly from proper behavior. Thus he established the standard etiquette. Eta Kaila Damodare Ravakyadanda Yahara Shravane Bhage Adana Pashanda. In this way I've described Damodar Pandit's verbal chastisements. As one hears about this, atheistic principles and ignorance depart. Caitanya Lila Gambira Koti Samudra Hayate Ki Lagi Ki Kare Kayana Pare Bhushite. The pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are deeper than millions of seas and oceans. Therefore, no one can understand what he does and why he does it. Ataiva Gudak Arta Kichwina Chani Mayarta Karibhare Karitanatani. I do not know the deep meaning of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities. As far as possible, I shall try to explain them externally. Ekadina Prabhu Haridasera Milila Tanha Lana Goshti Kari Tanhare Puchila. One day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Haridas Thakur as usual, and in the course of discussion he inquired as follows. Haridas, Kali Kale Yavana Hapara Go Brahmaneham Sakare Mahadurachata. My dear Haridas, Thakur Haridas, in this age of Kali, most people are bereft of Vedic culture, and therefore they are called Yavanas. They are concerned only with killing cows and Brahminical culture. In this way, they all engage in sinful acts. So, Prabhupada explains, from this statement by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can clearly understand that the word Yavana does not refer only to a particular class of men. Anyone who is against the behavior of the Vedic principles is called a Yavana. Such a Yavana may be in India or outside of India. As described here, the symptom of Yavanas is that they are violent killers of cows and Brahminical culture. We offer our prayers to the Lord by saying, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanataya Cha. The Lord is the maintainer of Brahminical culture. His first concern is to see to the benefit of cows and Brahmins. As soon as human civilization turns against Brahminical culture and allows unrestricted killing of cows, we should understand that men are no longer under the control of the Vedic culture, but are all Yavanas and Malechas. It is said that the Krishna conscious movement will be prominent within the next 10,000 years, but after that people will all become Malechas and Yavanas. Thus, at the end of the Yuga, Krishna will appear as the Kalki avatar and kill them without consideration. Phew. Ihasavara kon mate ahive nishtara taharahitu nakiye eduga para. How will these Yavanas be delivered? To my great unhappiness, I do not see any way. So Lord Chaitanya is asking Haridas Thakur this. This verse reveals the significance of Lord Sri Chaitanya's appearance as Patita Pavana, the deliverer of all the fallen souls. Srila Narottam Das Thakur sings Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara. O my Lord, you have appeared just to deliver all the fallen souls. Mosama Patita Prabhu Na Paibayara. And among all the fallen souls, I am the lowest. How Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always thinking about the deliverance of the fallen souls is shown by the statement, E dukkha apara, it is my great unhappiness. This statement indicates that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna himself, is always very unhappy to see the fallen souls in the material world. Therefore, he himself comes as he is, or he comes as a devotee in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to deliver love of Krishna directly to the fallen souls. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. C.C. Madhya Lila, 1953. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he not only gives knowledge of Krishna, but by his practical activities teaches everyone how to love Krishna. Krishna Prema Pradayate. Those who are following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should take the Lord's mission most seriously. In this age of Kali, people are gradually becoming less than animals. Nevertheless, although they are eating the flesh of cows and are envious of Brahminical culture, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considering how to deliver them from this horrible condition of life. Thus he asks all Indians to take up his mission. Bharata bhumite haila manusha janma jar janma sataka kari kara parupakar. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharata Barsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. That's from the Chaitanya Caritamrta, Adi Lila 941. It is therefore the duty of every advanced and cultured Indian to take this cause very seriously. All Indians should help the Krishna consciousness movement and its progress to the best of their ability. Then they will be considered real followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Unfortunately, even some so-called Vaishnavas enviously refuse to cooperate with this movement, but instead condemn it in so many ways. We are very sorry to say that these people try to find fault with us, being unnecessarily envious of our activities, although we are trying to the best of our ability to introduce the Krishna consciousness movement directly into the countries of the Yavanas and Malechas. Such Yavanas and Malechas are coming to us and becoming purified Vaishnavas who follow in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One who identifies himself as a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should feel like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who said, Iha savarakom mate haibadlishtara. How will all these Yavanas be delivered? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always anxious to deliver the fallen souls because their fallen condition gave him great unhappiness. That is the platform on which one can propagate the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada here is indicating that if someone is actually a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they should also be in anxiety. How to liberate and help all these people. I mean, that's normal human behavior, isn't it? Like normal human behavior is, for those of you who don't know, normal human behavior is when you see someone in danger, you try to help them. You don't just like sit there and say, Hare Krishna, you're in danger. That's quite interesting. I'm not in danger. I'm okay. But you're not okay. So bye-bye. Go to hell. You don't think like that. You think, oh my God, how can I save the bird? That's a human being. Or that's a compassionate living entity. And that's part of our eternal nature. And until you recognize that as part of your eternal nature, you will not be able to chant Hare Krishna properly. Hari Rasa Kai Prabhu Chintana Kariya Yavanera Samsara Deki Dukana Vaviha. Hari Das Thakur replied, My dear Lord, do not be in anxiety. Do not be unhappy to see the condition of the Yavanas of material existence. And Prabhupada says, the words of Hari Das Thakur are befitting a devotee who has dedicated his life and soul to the service of the Lord. When the Lord is unhappy because of the condition of the fallen souls, the devotee consoles him, saying, My dear Lord, do not be in anxiety. This is service. Everyone should adopt the cause of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to try to relieve him from the anxiety he feels. This is actually service to the Lord. One who tries to relieve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's anxiety for the fallen souls is certainly a most dear and confidential devotee of the Lord. Wow. To blaspheme such a devotee who is trying his best to spread the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the greatest offense. One who does so is simply awaiting punishment for his envy. So, as I mentioned before, we are going to stop here, maybe take one question. So this is verse 52 is the last verse. Okay, so we are the 27th. Let me just mark this down. 27, 25 to 52. Okay. So, as I mentioned before, we're having Holi in about 5 minutes. So we're going to actually have really quick questions and answers, maybe just one question or maybe just one answer, and then we will go to Holi, which will be on, probably not on on Zoom. It'll probably just be on Facebook, but I'll try to get it on Zoom too if I can. But anyway, we'll see what Krishna wants because I got to play the guitar, operate the camera, do everything simultaneously. Okay, go, Paul. You have a question? Quick, ask your question
Thank
now.
you. Um, so earlier, Prabhupada said in the purport that people are unnecessarily envious, indicating that there perhaps is a level of envy that is necessary. So could
No,
you expand on
no,
this?
Prabhupada it's just like emphasizing something. It's a part of speech. You know that you unnecessarily envious means basically they're very envious. It's not that they should be a little envious, a tiny bit envious. No, they shouldn't be envious at all. But it means they're being envious. Another way to understand it they are being envious unnecessarily.
I see. Thank you.
There's two ways to understand it. One is as an emphasis, unnecessarily envious. That's like they're super envious. Or another way to understand it is that we would commonly phrase it in English is they are being envious unnecessarily. You understand? Because it's not necessary for them to be envious, so they're being envious unnecessarily.
Thank you, Gurudev.
Yeah, sometimes with the English structure, it's hard to understand really what's being said, but that's really what's being said. Now, it's not all right to be a little envious, a tiny bit envious. But, it's an envy. Probably could have just said they're being envious, but envious, unnecessarily envious, envious unnecessarily, means they're super envious and they're really trying to impede him. It means also that Prabhupada is upset. If Prabhupada uses this extra word there, which we ordinarily wouldn't do, it means that Prabhupada's really upset with them. So it indicates anger like that. So I'm sorry we have to end, but tomorrow we'll have the class at the same time, and in a few minutes we'll go live at least on Facebook, if not on Zoom too, but I'm not sure. Damodar Pandit's mood must be loving devotion to chastise everyone deviating from Krishna consciousness. Last sentence we read said that one should not blaspheme devotees propagating Krishna consciousness. So Damodar Pandit doesn't blaspheme. His intention is simply to correct everybody, but sometimes he steps out of line, especially with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyway, we have to end now. So thank you for joining us. We'll see everybody at least tomorrow, if not a little later today, for this holy festival.